Hello and welcome back to the channel Understanding Concepts of Physics. Uh, I've been putting this video since some time now, and I was just busy for some time. So let's just continue our same topic which we just left in midway. So if you remember, if you have followed my other videos, other previous videos on the same topic, we were doing something called as waves, and in waves we had studied what a wave is, and then we had studied about types of waves, and waves can be classified into many categories: classification 1, classification 2, and classification 3. So in my previous two videos of this particular playlist, we had discussed about classification 1, wherein we studied that waves are of three types: mechanical, electromagnetic, and matter. However, classification 2 says that waves can be classified into transverse and longitudinal, and we discussed few important points pertaining to both of them. And now today we are going to discuss about classification 3. So waves can also be classified into something called as progressive waves, and it can also be classified into stationary waves. Now progressive wave is also called as traveling waves. So they both are one and the same thing. So in case if your book is following, if your board or your book is following one of the two names, do not get surprised. Stationary wave is also sometimes called as standing waves. So stationary, standing waves. Now a wave which is continuously traveling in a given direction. So let's say, suppose if this is a wave which is continuously traveling in a given direction, in only one direction, okay, it's not changing direction, then such a wave is called as a progressive wave. So a progressive wave is the one which is continuously traveling in a given direction. So that's what the definition is. A wave which continuously travels in a given direction is called as progressive wave. This arrow, wavy arrow, I have just shown you where the direction of the wave is traveling. Example is you can say sound or light, both of them can travel. So you can understand that progressive wave can be transverse and can be longitudinal as well. So it does not happen that only sound waves can travel or light waves can travel. Progressive wave may you can have both of the waves which can travel in a given direction. So at some point you might have switched on a torch and put light on the moon, and considering that your light will reach moon as well, and this wave which actually went towards moon is kind of a progressive wave. It is continuously traveling. So if you are listening to a lecture, then the sound wave which is reaching to you in a lecture hall, then that's a progressive wave. It is continuously traveling from the speaker or from the speaker or the orator towards you. So that's again a progressive wave. Now there are more technicalities regarding progressive wave. We'll be discussing that in further videos. However, we are also discussing about stationary wave in this particular video. Now stationary wave is a very detailed topic, and we'll have to take separately in a lot of videos. It's pretty detailed. And stationary wave is basically also called as standing waves, and this will be produced only when there are two progressive waves. So if I have two progressive wave, one going toward the right and the other going toward the left, then, and if they come together if at the same point of time, then we say that what we have got is what is called as a stationary wave. So what is a progressive wave? Basically it is a combination of two progressive wave which is traveling in a medium. It should be along the same path but in the opposite direction. So along the same path but in opposite direction, what does it imply? It implies that okay, it should be one in one, like it should be along the same path, but it should be along the opposite direction. It should not be like going upward along the same path, means they should not be like this, they should be like this. Along the same path means along the same straight line, but they should be in the opposite direction. So if you see this magenta colored wave is traveling in the positive direction, and this green color line, the wave is traveling in the opposite negative direction. When these two waves produce superimpose with each other, and what we get is in the form of loops. Like you get loops, one loop, second loop, and third loop. Then the loops which we get is what is called as a stationary wave. So stationary wave is like two waves traveling in the opposite direction along the same path, and but in opposite direction. That should be the criteria. It should be on the opposite direction, then what you get is what is called as the stationary wave or standing waves. And stationary wave is also called as standing waves. And like the example of this is sound production in musical instruments. So in musical instruments like a guitar, or when a guitar is played, there is a string, so there is this vibration going, and with the frets what we have on the guitar, the sound gets the waves get reflected, and we get such kind of loops at every intervals. So this is what stationary wave is. So stationary wave, why is it called as a stationary wave, is because when these waves get created, it appears to be stationary. Like you see that nothing is moving, like it appears that everything is at rest, and that's the reason why it is called as a stationary wave or a standing wave. So this is what about the third classification of wave is. So what we have done in this particular chapter is what regarding waves is that we are only discussed up till now what a wave is, and we have also discussed about the classification of wave: mechanical, electromagnetic, matter, transverse and longitudinal, and then we have discussed about progressive and stationary waves. So hopefully you have liked this video, and kindly subscribe to the channel in case if you are liking my videos. From now on I'll be posting regular videos as and when. So thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Bye.